Hello, beautiful beings. Welcome back to my channel. I'm recording from a new phone and I hope you guys can see me well. I don't know why I look so light today. Anyway, make them conform. How you can effectively change anyone. That is the title for today's video. And as you guys know, I usually teach about the law of assumption, neuroscience, the way that our thoughts affect our body, because trauma gets stuck in the body. And if you don't deal or work with the trauma alongside your manifesting routine of changing your thoughts, it can be a little bit hard. So law of assumption equals Neville. So we're going to be reading from Prayer, the Art of Believing, one of my favorites. My number one favorite is At Your Command, as you guys know. And we're going to be reading a little bit from page 27 and then a little bit from page 31 and 32. And it says, bold assertion by you, while you are in a partly subjective state, awakens what you affirm. Self-confidence on your part and the thorough belief in the truth of your mental assertion are all that is needed to produce results. Bold assertion by you and self-confidence on your part. Now we're going to move on to the other little blurb. And it says, where is it? I lost it. Actually, it's on page 32. Your beliefs, your fixed attitudes of mind constantly modify your consciousness as it is reflected on the mirror of your mind. Your consciousness, modified by your beliefs, objectifies itself into the conditions of your world. To change to your world, you must first change your concept of it. To change a man, you must change your conception of him. You must first believe him to be the man you want him to be, and mentally talk to him as though he were. All men are sufficiently sensitive to reproduce your beliefs of them. Therefore, if your word is not reproduced visibly in him toward whom it is sent, the cause is to be found in you, not in the subject. As soon as you believe in the truth of the state affirmed, results follow. All right. So he first says that you need to be bold. Your assertion has to be bold. And how can you be bold on something? Is by you truly having confidence and believe in it and in yourself. So the first thing that you need to do to be able to make someone conform, you need to build your self-image up. You need to build your confidence up. That is step number one. If you do not believe that you can do this, that's the biggest roadblock, number one. Number two, you need to have the self-confidence of the message that you're transmitting to them. What does that mean? If you want them to love you, for example, you need to first feel confident in the fact that they love you. Or you need to have that self-love. You need to feel loved first. That's why we talk about so much about self-love and self-concept work. Because we do not manifest what we want, we manifest what we are. So therefore, anything that we're transmitting to them has to be something that is already within ourselves. So whatever it is that whatever thought, or it's always thoughts, but whatever technique you're using to manifest that outcome, basically it needs to live within yourself first. That is the only way that you are able to be bold about it, because you're feeling it already within yourself. Self-confidence on your part and the thorough belief in the truth of your mental assertion. So how can you, for example, imagine that you're getting married to your specific person when you, number one, don't feel loved, number two, don't feel worthy of love, number three, you might have to believe that you never get picked, or you never get chosen, or you might have to believe that all men are dogs, or whatever the case may be. You have to really look at the beliefs that you hold about yourself, about them, your specific person specifically, and men in general, and the beliefs that you hold about relationships and the things that you feel worthy for. Because it needs to feel, anything you send out has to be a reflection of who you are. That is the only way that you're going to believe in what you're sending them, basically. And then it also says here that I didn't read before, your subjective mind will only transmit your fixed ideas. So once again, it goes back to the same thing. You're only transmitting to your specific person what you really, really, really believe about yourself and about them, which is imperative then that you work on changing those beliefs, because in the meantime, what you're transmitting to them is still doubt, is still fears. You know what I mean? So when you start your manifesting journey, and we all start there, so it's fine. When you first start your manifesting journey, or of maybe specifically manifesting your person back, you start trying to manifest them in a state of lack. And that's why a lot of times it doesn't happen for you, and you're like, but I'm doing everything and it's not happening. It's because deep down you still don't feel good. Deep down you still don't feel loved, you don't feel content, you don't feel wanted. Once you reach to the level of feeling content, wanted, and loved, then you start to see it being reflected for you on the outside. So then it makes sense that to change a person, you first have to change yourself and the beliefs that you hold about them. And when it doesn't work, when you don't see it reflected back to you in the 3D world, it just means that your beliefs are still not firmly fixed. Does that make sense? There's a trial and error. You keep trying, and when you don't see a result back, it just means that your fixed beliefs, your new positive beliefs about everything, are just still not fully fixed into your subconscious mind. Okay? So to change a man, you must first change your conception of him. But you do it all at once, because you're changing your conception of you and you're changing the story about them. But for anything them related, it always starts with you. And there is not one person in this universe, in this world, because we live in a multiverse, there is no one here that is not sensitive to thought transmission. You can change anyone, but if you first have to understand that you're not changing them. There is no them. You're changing yourself. You're changing your ideas and your thoughts about them, and that then gets reflected. It gets reflected and awakened within them, and then they show that on your 3D. Okay, I speak a lot about thought transmission on all of that when I'm explaining this book. Like I have a collection. I can't even talk today. I have a playlist where I go chapter by chapter, reading and explaining that. I think it is extremely important to take the time to understand how these things work, because that builds belief. That builds belief in yourself and believe in the fact that you can do this, that anyone can do this. It's a mind game. It is all you. Okay? So you change your self-concept, and then you change the concept about them. You change their story. And you keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it until that new story is firmly implanted within you. And once that is done, once that has reached a saturation point, then it will be reflected back. When it gets sent out, it will be reflected back. Okay? Because they're, like the hot and cold situation. That's why we get it, because we bounce back and forth between doing all of these techniques just to get something, but then we don't do them long enough, I should say, because if you do it long enough, it'll reach your subconscious. But we stay in this, in this thing, and we do techniques, we manifest. A lot of the times we drop the techniques, the manifestation goes away, then we pick the technique back up, and it just creates this unbalance. Stick with it. Be consistent and persist. And anyone can conform because we are constantly conforming. They are constantly conforming because we are constantly being reprogrammed through everything that we watch, everything that we listen to. So it's just a matter of what you are reprogramming yourself with, towards what goal are you reprogramming yourself for, and then sending out those thoughts, those ideas, those affirmations, those imaginary scenes, living in the end, and then knowing that it's going to come back to you as a reflection. So yes, you can change anyone, because everyone is you pushed out, because everyone is part of you. That is the reason, that is how you're even able to do that, because there is no separation. Everything is within yourself. And I hope this video was understandable and that you listened to it from the beginning to the end. I know that sometimes I, get a little too excited and start talking too much. but I just love this book. I love Neville. I love dissecting what he's trying to say. And if you like this video, get a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm. Follow and hit that notification icon. And if you need help, my information is in the description box below. And until next time, bye.